So, let's see what YouTuber SwagKage had to say about the role Sakura played during Pain's attack.
Pretty much every member of the Hidden Leaf Village, with the exception of Team Guy, manages to make a pretty solid contribution in the attack on Konoha.
I think you meant in the defense of Konoha, not in the attack on Konoha.
Heck, even Konohamaru manages to defeat one of the Paths of Pain, while Sakura is left crying and screaming for Naruto to come back home so he can defeat Pain, despite the fact that she refuses to lift a finger herself against him.
Actually, Sakura did lift a finger against Pain. In chapter 421, she killed Pain's centipede with a single punch, saving the life of a little girl, and very possibly the lives of other civilians and ninja alike. She then heals the little girl and, by order from Iruka, assists at a hospital which was tending to the wounded, of which there were many.
Then, after having the nerve to scream at the sky for Naruto to come back home, again, without making any effort to fight against Pain herself,
Sakura was oblivious to what exactly was happening when she screamed this in chapter 429. She had just arisen out from one of Tsunade's slugs in a state of confusion after Pain had nuked the village. In the manga, in one panel, she was focused on healing a patient. In the next, she's rising out from within Katsuyu's protection, with everything around her in ruin. Point is, she wasn't really in much position to fight against Pain, in part because she wasn't really fully aware of what was going on around her. Neither were other fighters, they themselves busy with their own corner of the village and needing updates either from Byakugan users or Katsuyu. We the readers know it was Pain's Shinra Tensei that blew everything away. Sakura doesn't have the luxury that we the readers do. However, as we've seen, she did not back down when Pain's caterpillar threatened her fellow countrymen.
we see Hinata step into the battle between Naruto and Pain in order to save his life, nearly at the cost of her own, and still, Sakura does nothing.
I fear you may have a skewed view of how things went down. Again, we the readers see Hinata step into the battle, but Sakura, I can't believe I have to point this out, Sakura isn't reading this manga, nor does she have Byakugan binoculars. Sakura does not learn about Hinata stepping into the battle until after the fact. Until after Hinata enters the fight and gets impaled, after Naruto transforms, and after this guy tells her in chapter 438.
There were plenty of other medical ninja in the Hidden Leaf Village at the time of Pain's invasion that could have healed the injured present in the village.
This argument can go both ways. There were plenty of other ninja in the village that specialized in combat that could have fought against Pain's forces. Also, Sakura was doing as ordered by Iruka. Speaking of Iruka's orders, it seems a very strategic one. Sakura can both heal and fight, so if any threat approaches the village medics or the wounded, Sakura might have been able to put up something of a fight and defend both patients and her fellow medics. If no threat approached, she could assist with healing the wounded. Sakura, like her teacher Tsunade, was healing instead of fighting, and it just so happened the opportunity to heal was more within reach to her than the opportunity to fight.
But there weren't a whole lot of medical ninja in the village with access to the strength of 100 seal, which Sakura would have activated here if she wasn't a total wimp, so that she could at least buy time for everybody while she waited for Naruto to arrive. But of course, she doesn't do that.
I'm not too sure about this. It may have been the case that Sakura's strength of 100 seal was not ready then. And just like I stated earlier, Sakura was not completely in the know of what was happening around her. What she did know was there were wounded in need of healing in her area, and so she got to healing. After Pain's nuke, Naruto made his arrival in chapter 430. Sakura, after arising out of Katsuyu in chapter 429, could have joined Naruto at this point, but in chapter 431, Naruto has stated that he wanted no one to interfere, for it would make things more difficult for him. Sakura may very well have been heeding Naruto's wish that no one was to interfere, hence she didn't jump in. I'd also like to point out that, in chapter 438, after learning of Naruto's transformation and Hinata's martyrdom, Sakura sprung into action. She ordered that everyone seek shelter. Sakura was familiar with Naruto's transformation. She knew the fox would attack anyone, whether friend or foe, and she knew she had to get to Hinata somehow. And of course, Sakura was the one to heal Hinata in chapter 442. Did much of this come up in Tsuekage's video?